Let our people free. The main, yes, yes, and the main specifically important family, aside from the Glory Binders, who's you still don't have permission for, that you came to meet with is the Dumar family, the Viscount's family, head of the city. The Dumar family, Viscount basically agreed to have a quick meeting after this is his party. It's basically they haven't even been able to speak with him to ask permission because he's been being a bit reclusive since y'all arrived in the city. So Vinny is wearing an all white, essentially like jumpsuit with this like electric blue V branded on the front of him, going down from his like shoulders to his crotch. Um, Saros is in like some blue coat with like also a light blue coat with like one of those like fluffy kind of like shirts that like poof out of the front. Yeah, 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 yeah. Do you want me to? Do you want me to? Do you want me to use that as your token, Sam? Okay. Well, I'll consider adding it if I have time while we go. Yeah. So just to recap really quickly, since we can get started through the last important stuff is y'all did come to this party and meet a few different people and groups. The idea of the behind this party was that you were meant to socialize with some people that will potentially become important or could help you gain influence on certain missions or may be able to help you with your causes. You all approached a few different parties, being able to speak to them. You spoke with a merchant and the head priestess of Rehema of Love. You spoke with, I believe, the High Priest of Honor and Justice, Silky did, as well as a leader of the Guard, specifically the Naval Guard, that offered some help. And Morteza and Warden antagonized Alexander Vale and Amir, Amir being one of the members of the Inquisition. He is a man with gray hair, injured eye, and didn't seem to care for Morteza's assertions about, or was it Warden's assertions actually, about why they might be doing what they're doing. And I believe the last few noteworthy events, Warden was approached by a man with long black hair and light purple eyes that struck up a conversation with him about his horns, revealing that in older times in Eberron, still sometimes today when they can get genuine ones, these were used to augment or give the ability to refresh spells, and they were sealed onto people's heads. And so it's actually something that nobles in Eberron will sometimes have as a status symbol, even if they're fake. Rockgut was trying to listen in on the conversation of Lohit Cross, who is the head priest of Dominion. Specifically, the god's name is... Where are you at? Tenebrae. There it is. And he recognized his voice, but he couldn't figure out from where. And then last but not least, Silky, who's sort of taking quick little rounds looking for her family, approached the stairs that she came up from, where a familiar figure was strolling up them as she saw the woman that you fought on the boat about a week and a half ago, who cast both of you off, and took her family imprisoned originally. That just happened. That's when we ended. Well, you're in the middle of a party and you do not have your weapons. Saros, you have been downstairs, by the way, and I will give you your information. I can give it to you now, or I can give it to you later. But you've effectively been like chatting with the bards, and that's what you've learned. If you were to venture upstairs, you'd probably start getting the sync guy from Bass Guitar, who is here, playing music. But you were talking with Alas and with Pixie, just briefly, and you did learn something as well. But more interested to see where we left off. Silky, a woman in dark robes, gives you a sly smile. Oh, hello, darling. Oh, right, I gotta do that shit. I literally need a reminder about that every time. Okay. Hello. Says hello. It's been a while, darling. Did you follow me to Kirkwall? There's a glass. No bottles. Within arm's reach, there's like some silverware, some plates, some glasses. These are not like steak knives, but okay. Well, it's your call. she, seeing you do this, will hold out her hand and say, "Surely we can discuss this like civilized creatures." That draws a few eyes. And from around the table, you hear a voice. "There is no need to use such dark tones simply because we are of Eberron. We are of Eberron," as a man with long black hair and purple eyes slinks around behind you, eyeing the knife in your hands. "Slavery is legal there. It is simply part of our culture." Of course, of course. Do you think we have wronged you somehow? You've drawn a few eyes. The people right nearby are definitely paying attention. Rocka, you've turned around, and you've seen that most of the people on this side of the room have turned around. Basically, Tar's like kind of put his head down and is trying to play through it. Yeah, you can make a. Yeah, you can see them well enough through the open doors. They haven't really turned around or noticed anything yet. Mortez is very intent on trying to overhear whatever Mr. Profashi is talking about with the ML family, and Vinny seems to be ruminating on his recent fart prank gone wrong. It didn't quite work out how you wanted it to. That's what you notice. Meanwhile, Keston, who introduced himself to Warden, Warden, you've also noticed everything going on with Silky, has turned about her. "I think that surely we can go somewhere quiet and discuss this disagreement like civilized adults. I don't know what has gone wrong here from my cousin, but I'm sure she meant no harm." She holds up her hands. "I have done no such thing. I have captured no one and burnt no homes in my time in Kirkwall. I have only recently arrived by ship." Amir, meanwhile, is now walking around to stand nearby. You in Starkhaven. Your home is in the Brazilian forest. You were near Starkhaven. You were still in the Free Marches. Do. Roll a charisma saving throw, Silky. Roll a charisma saving throw. Oh, I'm sorry. Wisdom saving throw, but whatever. Yeah, you're charmed. Keston puts an arm on your back. Calm now. We can talk about this a little bit more relaxed. Please. We'll go somewhere a bit more quiet and gather your friends if you need, and we'll talk about it a bit more peacefully. And he sort of looks warily over at Amir and raises a hand. "No need for all this to get out of hand. I don't know what's going on, but I'm sure we can all come to agreement." And as you are charmed, Silky, you view him as a very friendly acquaintance. You're still hostile to the girl, but you find yourself drawn to agree with your friend, who's just trying to make sure everyone can talk this out. I mean, you can still say stuff, or be reluctant, but you're basically going to make a persuasion save if you really want to resist. Like he still would have to try to convince you if you want to resist further, or you can agree or do whatever. Fair enough. Okay. So because because right now what you're doing is after you'd spoken with a lost for a while, before the woman had walked up the stairs that were near you, you went outside where you saw Pixie, and you're actually hiding by the rose bushes, chatting with her while spying on what seems to be a romantic tryst between two entangled younger nobles. Now you've talked with her for a while at this point, and you certainly would be about to take your leave, as there's only so much spying on young lovers that you can really stomach. Really the only place to go is towards the lobby, which leads to the stairs up where they're coming from. So you're probably about to run into them if they come downstairs. So it's not like you're going to be excluded, but you haven't heard anything just yet. No. All right, Silky, you got your butter knife. You've been charmed, and you seem to be willing to walk with them. Are you going to motion to your friends, or what are you doing? All right. They are starting to walk while they do that. Are you going to walk downstairs with them, Silky? Okay. I'll turn about and say, "We'll wait downstairs for you. Join us in a moment." And they go downstairs. Oh, come on, he's your friend. Alright. Okay. Roll persuasion. Well, maybe not persuasion. Yeah, roll persuasion. The dwarf glances over as you can see a furbolg waiting near the top of the stairs, clutching a butter knife, and gives you a nod. Okay, so you walked over to Laura. No, Silky, that's terrible. Who are they? Her cousin, not really a familiar face. Right. That's terrible. That makes sense, yes. Doesn't bode well that they're at the Viscount's party either. Be careful, they might be, I don't know, well connected or something. I'll go talk to my brother. She nods at you. I'll go look for your family. I'll go look for your family, and I'll make sure that my brother knows to get word to our guard to start searching the docks. And we'll be able to speak with Mr. Dumas shortly to be able to search his as well. Just try not to cause too much trouble this afternoon, okay? We can't really. I know. We just need to be careful. This is still the Viscount's party. Okay. She immediately rushes off to talk to her brother. Warden, who I believe was like yelling insistently at Vinny and Morteza. So, have y'all responded beyond going like which while Silky was talking? A few eyes get drawn at this conversation, which seems to be happening from 20 feet across the room, just yelling back and forth at each other. You mean another hag? And oh my god, I want Warden and Silky to fight with Butternut so bad. Make a perception check, Warden. Well, you see some silverware. The bartender doesn't seem to have anything sharp, obviously, on him. You can certainly ask. You could do that. There's a wine bottle near you as you're closer to the bar than when Silky was initially looking. You could also grab a wine bottle on your way out, Silky. Okay. Yeah, no, I got it. Okay, so Morteza and Vinny have walked over to Warden and are now speaking at a lower voice. Meanwhile, they are downstairs. Meanwhile, downstairs, Saros, you've enjoyed your conversation with Pixie and are moseying your way back in the front door, towards the front door, playing your lute, and you look out and you see you see her, and you're like, she looks kind of familiar. Not yet. You just kind of like they're chatting, and you've just kind of gotten to the front door and glanced around. No. Okay. So you back up around some bushes and make a stealth check. Yeah, no, you're making a stealth check to hide from the guards while you cast. Oh, okay, got it. Invisible you go. You know, you're able to get behind some bushes, whisper to Vinny real quick. Guards, don't seem too bothered. There's some rustling that they hear, but they don't seem to be paying it any mind. And you are invisible. You will still need to make stealth checks, but you can do so with advantage, as they do not expect there to be anyone invisible nearby. It's really just to make sure that you don't bump into shit. But yeah, you're invisible, and you're able to walk up to the... pretty close to them. You're able to walk up to about here without even needing to make a stealth check. As Lost is playing some music, you don't need to worry about being too quiet with your footsteps. No. No, they did not. They were only taking weapons. Rocket. I don't really know what Rocket's doing. Janin. Ah, my brother Gut. What brings you back to my table? It seemed quite heated. Oh. Understood, my friend. So you intend to attack them? Aha! Good luck. Yes, sounds like a plan. Wish you all the best, my friend. Make an insight check, Rocket. Looks a little pensive with this information. He's stroking his beard, but is keeping it to himself. The woman that you were speaking with, for whatever reason, had slightly over from the table and was not paying attention. Seemed to be absorbed in some thought, or her drink, or her nails, as she is the priestess of love and beauty. And with that, everyone else is gathered and about to head downstairs, I'm assuming, or what? Alright. You all are making your way across the room. Are you just stopping to talk upstairs before heading downstairs and have this powwow, or are you going to continue down? You are, but that's what you're doing now. Is you had this quick conversation as you walked across the room, And now you're all have reconjoined at the top of the stairs. Are you just gonna you're just gonna chat for a second? Okay. Rucka, so okay, go ahead and make a stealth check for trying to say that surreptitiously with your pass without a trace bonus, and also for wild shaping without drawing attention. So as you wild shape into a spider, you sense someone's eyes were on you. Make a perception check as a spider. Okay, then your passive perception is enough. You notice that Amir was watching and could clearly hear you, and noted that you disappeared, but hasn't spotted your spider form yet, crawling across the ground. But he's looked about for you, and he then begins to stroll back over to Mr. Vale. Meanwhile, downstairs, Salros, as you strolled up, Keston has waved a loss over to the front of the room, where he walked rather indignantly, and you hear them speaking briefly. Make a stealth check to get close enough to overhear. Or you can make a perception check to try to just hear them from a distance and not risk being discovered. Yeah. You're good. You're able to get up pretty close, like about to hear and listen to their conversation. Keston seems annoyed. Who was the Furbolg? She interfered with the boat. They were the ones that damaged it and killed a lot of the people that were catching the slaves. Why has she chased us here? I believe some of the people we've captured are her family. What, the little Furbolgs? Yes. I don't really... he kind of like waves his hand. I don't really give a fuck about those slaves anymore. Stop making this pain. We'll take care of it quickly. Hopefully she can get herself in prison tonight. And that's all you overhear as your party begins to walk down the stairs. Okay. Worden also has a small knife. Okay. You hear a whisper back. Don't cause trouble here if you can help it. And you make your way down the stairs. Whoops, copied y'all. You are all now downstairs. Keston turns with a smile to greet you, seeing you're shaking and smiling slightly at it, Silky. He steps forward and clasps you on the arm. Scroll up to the top side. All right. So he motions towards the doors right next to him, asking for y'all to come. Just go a bit deeper, somewhere a little bit more private. And you were able to enter into a little bit further section of the estate. You see down the hall, if you follow them, as they begin to walk this way. You see down the hall to your right some guards, and some guards are posted near the front. It seems like they're just waiting at certain locations to make sure people don't go too deep. Make a perception check. Not bad, but I don't know how good Spider stealth is when he also has passed without a trace. I would say you still don't notice him, but Raka, you can go ahead and roll stealth. You see a spider. Do you know it's rock gut? Hard to say. But if you do make an attack, I'll give you advantage if it's on a spider out of invisibility. So as you all begin to follow them a little bit deeper in, you see Keston sort of give a guard a hand wave, and the guard leaves this area. And Keston strolls out into a nice little, like, sort of exterior garden lane right here that you are all able to follow him to. Do you want to follow? So Soros, you've seen your party go through after them. Are you trying to slip in between your party and them, or slip in after your party? Okay. Make another stealth check. No, make another stealth check. They don't seem to be talking right now. You notice the younger woman turn around as you like trip a little bit behind you, like as you're trying to follow them, and she reacts to the sound, noting that it seems to be closer to her than any of the members of your party are. Rockgut, as a spider, you also notice this sound seeming to come from nowhere. In fact, like right near you, as you're like on the wall. And I think pretty much everyone's passive perception, except maybe Warden, picks up that there was a little bit of you like trip, you're like shit, ow, but like covering your mouth as you like stub your toe on something. Okay. You're able to do so. Not a spell, it's a feature, so no. I will roll no. Okay, so you like are walking by Silky and you like have the opportunity to whisper something inspiring in her ear. What are you saying? Or you don't see Saros. He's invisible. It's more like someone just like whispered some sweet nothings into your ear that you find are filling you with inspiration. You're sure it was Saros. You don't know exactly where he is in the courtyard with you, but he's definitely here. Can it be her blood? Yeah. All right. So, as you all enter the courtyard, they walk towards the back of it and then turn about, motioning you to stop a little ways away from them. So, you accuse my cousin of some improprieties. Do I take this correctly? I suppose. Is it your home that we destroyed, or the nods towards Silky, the fur box? And you have followed her here because of this. Course. Well, I think we can come to a amenable agreement then. Sort of leans over to sister. How many furbolgs did we take? 10. Only one of them has any talent. 10 furbolgs. Which one has talent, you said? Sir, young girl. I don't fucking know her name. She's got some capacity, though. Would do well trained. Slave traders. Oh, I'm sorry. I had them as having 4 of your family. Is it only 2 on your presentation? I had them as having 4 on your family. You're saying one of the younger ones has talent. Shit. Remind me which of the 2 younger ones you have on your presentation, because I thought I had lace. I have lace and I have denim. Lace, denim, flan, and taffy. Those are the 4 I have as me having. Lace, denim, flan, and taffy. Okay. Children. Yeah. Yes, one of the younger girls has talent. Alright, well, standard going rates in the Imperium for was about 1,000 gold. We could give you a discount of 800 to get your family and your tribe back. For the one with some talent, though, we normally prefer to train them. She would be raised to become a powerful mage. Well, I don't really see any other way out of that. You could certainly try. Do you know who we are? Do you know the Grace family name? Morteza, make a history check. That's one of the major 5 noble families in the Imperium. One of the strongest influences in pretty much the strongest nation. He's from the country next to the Imperium. No. Different continent entirely. They are both from the Imperium. They've revealed themselves to be members of the Grace family, which is one of the top 5 noble families in the Imperium. Solros, who's like trying to situate himself well in the bushes, misses the first part of this, where they were bargaining for Soki's family, but catches this part. There's no way the Free Marchers are going to do anything to me or my cousin. He kind of like waves his hand casually at her. I wouldn't risk it. My family could wipe this puny city off the map if it really wanted to. It doesn't mean I wanted to have a scene, just because they can't do anything to me and they know it doesn't mean I need to flaunt it in front of their faces. Flaunting it in front of yours will do fine. I've offered you a deal. Would you take it? Make an insight check and a deception check. Actually, I'll take passive insight from pretty much everyone, but make a deception check. Don't worry about it. Everyone just tell me what your passive insight is. Okay. But do roll deception. It's okay. You see briefly him like kind of behind his fist like smile and laugh a little bit. The Viscount. Yes. He'll be a tricky one. Don't know what I'll do. Well, I've made my deal, and I'll tell you this. We will keep your family in this city for another 4 days while you consider it. How does that sound? Make an intimidation check. Very scary. Alright. How about we reconvene in 2 days, and we will return your family to you. In return, you will drop it for tonight, and we will all enjoy our party. You've my word. And he bows. You can make an attack check. Yeah. Oh man, how do I whisper this? No. You get auto muted in Chris's cage. I'll just describe it. It's not a big deal. As you're getting like real close to him, right? And visible, sneaking up, and like trying to like look at his face as he speaks to Silky, and he seems to be telling the truth about not harming them, but not so sure that he intends to give them back too easily. You're whispering that, you said? Alright, well, he will, standing say, okay, well, a location for us to meet then, in 2 days. If it is agreeable. Alright. Meet us at, yeah, that's exactly what I did. We'll meet at the Balder Harbor 2 days from now. Of course, the second docks. We have an accord. You have my word. Saurus, with your insight check, he seems to be telling the truth about the family being there. I'm hurt. What do you take me for? Sure. You're gonna need to make a stealth check as a spider. So 15 to get on his boot. I don't know, Sam. He's 15. I'm pretty sure he notices you. He's. You. The specific stealth that he's up against, because you're not really spotting him. The only reason he's being spotted is because he's crawling on the boot of someone who's like looking down and being like, "There's a spider on my shoe." He's going to start to walk out of the door behind him, and with a smile say, we'll rejoin you in the party then. All be on our best behavior, I'm sure, for the Viscount's announcement. Yes. The Viscount, you did know this. The Viscount had an announcement planned, and you were going to speak with him after it. All right. We will see you upstairs. Ta-ta. And he starts to walk out, and this is the point where he's like walking over to here that Rocket climbs on his boot, and he notices, and he's going to try to like smack his boot or kind of like slide his boot against the door frame to squish the spider. It's just a casual thing. You have a you have a dexterity save in spider form as your death is coming. Beat a 10. Straight dexterity save. You're good. You're able to hop off, barely missing as his boot like just kind of like ever so like slightly brushes against the door frame in an attempt to crush the spider on it, and you're narrowly escaped death and or turning back into a gnome and just being beneath his foot, which would have also been uncomfortable. And you are in the garden as a spider still, and they are headed back upstairs. What are y'all doing? The talent part was out loud. What you heard was actually him saying that he doesn't really give a fuck about the slaves. The only one they really seem to care about is the one with talent, which they named a much higher price for. Yeah, one of his great music. You don't know? Yeah. Yes. Corduroy. Or Gingham, sorry. What? No, it was corduroy, yeah. Hey, Chris, you reading your chat, bud? I just whispered you a fuck ton of stuff from your history check that you could repeat or not. That's fair. Can you not zoom in on the top right of just roll 20? Oh, try even with just the button instead of using like your use the try using the button then instead. Maybe that'll work better. The button at the top right that just zooms you in or out of the map. That's pretty important because I've been using some huge maps recently, Chris. Wait, are you saying that we're not supposed to be playing pen and paper? Um, Well, that was how Morteza learned. So, all right. You do. Who are you asking about? Keston Grace. Keston. Keston. I can't believe Clark just immediately landed on the person who gave me the idea for that name so casually. He was on my Out of the Park team and he was crushing it, and I was like, I like that name. Keston. Hang on. Yeah. All right. So I believe you lose invisibility then, Sorrows. Okay, gotcha. So as y'all start to head back the way you entered from here, one of the guards spots you. Just, excuse me, if you wouldn't mind gathering back to the main entrance hall. The Viscount is about to be delivering his speech. All the guests have been gathered there. Please, if you wouldn't mind joining them. I was like, let's put this guy here, let's put this guy here. Okay. That's fine. So, as you all enter back in, Morteza coming in invisibility, you actually can see near the back two tall furbolgs standing behind the Hollingsworth family. They give you a nervous wave. Most of the crowd seems to have made their way down there. You can see near the back corner the Profashi family. Standing near the door is the Hollingsworth family, standing kind of protectively near your family, Sophie. Keston is near the front and gives you a small smile as you step back in. He's standing with the guard captain of the I don't even know, guard captain of the waves is what I'll fucking call his position, who is standing somewhat stoically at the front, and his cousin is standing a little bit behind him. You also see the son of the Viscount, Mr. Edmund Demar, standing a little bit to your left, as you all are able to make your way back in. He gives you a small smile and a nod and says, if you would please join, my father will be out soon to speak. Alright. You're able to join the crowd. Silky, I'm sure, rushing back to just check on her family real quick, make sure they're okay. I'll leave some more room right there. That's nice. He's like, oh, hey, Mom, it's good to see you again too. Just a minute. Of course. A little bit lighter in the pouch though. Just doing some gambling. Okay, of course. Did everything go alright? Sorry, anything's overdue. You did well. I was able to get word to my men, and we'll have a few guards checking some of the Harvard, do you know which one they're in? Or we can speak after if you prefer. I'm gonna stick the rest of y'all over by the Profaci family. Laura gets a big grin on her face and like kind of like wraps arms with you and like rubs your shoulder a little bit. Like she's thankful, but also hopes you're okay. And Soren, of course, and Laura picks up on that and is aiming to reassure, as is Meg somewhat behind you. Soren seems to receive the compliment and try to like shifts his shoulders a little bit uncomfortably and tries to reassert his dignity. But with your passive insight, you can tell that he appreciated those words. And with that, the hall starts to go quiet as two more figures stroll out. First, dressed well, but somewhat modestly. A man with a commanding presence, gray in his beard and his hair, serious gaze, walks through, and he's followed closely by a man in some what seems to be a half-plate armor, sword at his side, and a smooth straw. This is what. Did you fucking really, Sam? Yeah, alright. This is the man who steps forward and seems to be the Viscount. Okay, Sam, I'm trying to read a speech here, you motherfucker. Thank you all for joining us on this occasion. I appreciate all of you coming here and hope you have enjoyed the festivities. I will be joining you all with them now shortly, as I have not been able to conclude some last-minute business. Before we begin our party and festivities, though, I do have a quick announcement. I brought you all here before me today so that I might speak on the future of Kirkwall. I believe that we sit on the precipice of change, and I fear that we are not ready for it. Too long have we sat with defenses that our city has inherited from almost 1,000 years ago, content, believing that we would be safe in the precarious balance because we always have been. I am here to tell you today that we will be taking a step towards ensuring our city's destiny, and indeed the destiny of all free marchers, will be in our hands. No longer fate's whims. I propose, and I will be bringing it before the Leadership Council to vote on properly, the implementation of a standing army and standing navy for Kirkwall, rather than relying simply on the noble forces that we have done in the past. With me here today is Garrett Pasham, head of the Red Iron Mercenaries. His 5,000 men will soon be converging in Kirkwall, and I plan to use them as the base for an organized army that we will grow to some 20,000 with recruits. Thomas Cloudrunner, captain of the Wave Guard, will be stepping into a position as Admiral of Kirkwall, leading our naval forces and preparing a full navy so that we might better handle true threats to our city beyond just pirates or smugglers, of which I know he's had his hands full. These two men with this proposal would both be joining the Leadership Council to be able to vote and influence affairs in their own right, while also serving to protect our city and ensure that we remain a true power. I also have with me here Keston Grace, a great noble of the Eberonian Imperium. He will be helping to shape our new army. He brings with him a small legion of spell swords that will be arriving soon to help prepare our army to better face training with and against magical users. We believe this will be the best way to get them into power, and we thank Mr. Grace for his willingness to provide this support. The vote for this will go before the Leadership Council at the meeting this winter, planned for the winter solstice. Any questions or concerns from the Leadership Council will be addressed in our next meeting later this month. But I promise you all, Kirkwall is headed towards its future, and it will be stronger for it. Spreads his hand. Thank you for your time. Please do stay, enjoy the festivities. I will be joining you all shortly. So, to summarize that announcement, Rocket, what's your passive perception? Oh, like 80? Okay. Were you looking at anyone in particular during that speech? Alright, well, I'll send you the end of the announcement. The Glorybinder, Mr. Glorybinder was clapping quite thoroughly. The Amels held their applause. Malcolm had a serious look on his face, but the two people directly next to Warden were both clapping very loudly. Lohic Cross and Thomas Glorybinder. Jonan was just kind of stroking his beard, since I imagine they were looking up there. And Amir held his hands behind his back, but gave like a little golf clap. You hear the sound of like some cracking stone next to you. All of you do. And you glance to Mr. Prafashi pulling up his hand, having like left a finger mark in some of the stone next to him, and a very serious look on his face. The Hollingsworths seem a little bit nervous about this announcement, Silky. But Soren will turn to you at this point and say, he's promised us an audience if you want to get him, if you want to go and speak to him now. Now's the best time to grab him, for certain. If you want to wait, we could try again, but it might be hard. He's been busy, and with this announcement it makes sense. This is... Well, there's some pretty serious logistics surrounding this. Leadership and army aside, how we'll pay for it all. So I imagine he's been working on it for some time. Alright. You got their attention. Morteza, who's been watching invisibly this whole time. And, oh wait, Rocket, you were Spider. You didn't see a lot of what I just said then, sorry. Because you're coming from a very low angle of if you're still especially on his like now you see the people right next to you clapping and you see Mr. Profashi, but you wouldn't really see all the way across the room, is really my point. You are good. Sounds good. So he could fly, and then one of you could make him invisible if someone else has that spell. I'm just saying. But you need to concentrate on fly. Alright. Bye. So what are y'all doing? No, sorry. It's expensive to get pictures done. And little Vinny won't sit still enough for a portrait. Yeah. You talking about the Profashis? Not the other woman in the black. Yeah. That one right there with shadows coming out of her hand. What do you mean, Ma? The one that no, yeah, okay. Alright. Alright. Sounds good. We'll join them. Alright. Alright, so everyone else. Yeah, but he's very low to the ground, is how he's getting away with it. Everyone else starts to file upstairs. And you're able to approach the Viscount with the Hollingsworth family as well. Soren gives a nod and exchanges some pleasantries, shakes his hand, reminds him of his agreement to speak with Demi. Of course, I'm happy to take a moment. Come join me right back here. And nods to some of the people he indicated, Garrett and Thomas and Keston, and they step aside, Keston flashing you all a grin, as you are escorted back into this dining area. Takes a seat at the head. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what you two are doing. You're invisible, so what are you doing? Okay. What can I do for you? You're fine. All good. Okay. You see his eyebrows go a little wide at this? Really? Morteza and Rocket, where are you all watching this conversation from? No. Okay, make a stealth check with disadvantage because of your armor. Oh, my mistake. You don't have armor on, right, Chris? Then just a stealth check with pass without a trace? Yes. 20 with pass without a trace. So you two are able to sneak up right next to him. Rocket, you have a clear line of sight to the man's face, as does invisibly Morteza, and of course Silky, who was talking to him. Continue, Silky. He takes a moment after getting this information and looks at you. Firstly, I'm deeply sorry that something so terrible has happened to your family. I hope you know that my goals with strengthening Kirkwall and all of the free marches are to ensure that nothing like this can ever happen to its citizens, or any that seek the freedom and the safety that is our great country, our great cities, I suppose. I believe then that what you are asking is right to search my harbors. The Silver Run Harbor, which of course is I own in the Viscount's name, and the Balder Harbor, which is owned by my family. Of course. I would expect smugglers would normally go to the more clandestine of the harbors in our city, but I don't have any issue with having my guards look more thoroughly through my harbor, and I'll have them be able to take you all with them on such a search, if that would help ease your mind. Soren will speak up at this point. We also have not been able to search the Glory Binders Harbor, which I believe is the other docks in Balder Harbor. You will be able to search them as well. I will speak with Mr. Glorybinder and make certain of it. Is there anything else that I can help you with today? Again, very sorry for your family. Of course. What do you know of these smugglers? When you say, from a nation where slavery is illegal, uh, the only one I know of is Eberron. I see. Those are dangerous waters, but I will do everything in my power to help. As I said, you will have free roam of my docks. And what I can do to bring these people to justice, I will do. And again, your family and all free people of the marches will be safe. Of course. If you spot open acts of slavery and kidnapping, my guard will come to aid you. He's telling the truth. About that specific thing, he is telling the truth. I guess you should roll insight, but he seems to be telling the truth about if you spotted an open moment of slavery that his guard would come to help. We speak on semantics now. You know I stand against slavery, and I will ensure that you will have ample opportunity to check my docks, and if you find them, I will help bring them to justice. It is not a common issue that we face. Typically, it would be death.
course. If it is anything I can do, feel free to ask. You can send a message to my scribes, and I will be sure to respond. Serious accusations that you level going on in the city, and I apologize that my work has kept me from meeting until now. Of course. I'm happy to help any friend of the Hollingworth family, though recently fallen from the leadership council. Gives a nod at Soren, who kind of like lips go kind of tight. Is a friend of my own. You see a genuine smile spread across his face. I hope so as well. My father was a great man, but I see his mark on both of you too. Nods at the two young Hollingsworth. Now, if you do not have anything else, I'm afraid that I have stayed out of my own party a little bit too long already. And I must play the social game, as it were. You got like 5 minutes left on your wild shape and pass without a trace. The invisibility for Morteza still has like 20 minutes, I'll say. Since I believe was cast at the end of the conversation with the Eberonians. And there's a gnome just like clutching your leg. Well, he begins to rise and says, "If y'all need to take a moment before joining in the party, I understand, but I will be heading above if there's nothing else you need of me." Yeah, this is his name, by the way, Marlo Dumar. I didn't realize it wasn't visible to y'all. Alright. Please do enjoy the party. We'll see you all again, I hope. And he leaves. What are y'all doing? Okay. Suddenly, this small gnome appears in the corner near like one of the plants, floating about like 5 or 6 inches off the ground, like arms and legs wrapped around something that you cannot see. Now you appeared floating in midair, hugging Morteza's leg. But you drop your grip and land on your feet, and you're good to go. Morteza, the feeling of a spider being upon your person, which has been bothering you for a little bit, has finally dissipated. Instead, you have a small gnome upon your person. Yeah. It's not pleasant. It's not pleasant. Any time. If there's anything else we can do to help, please don't be afraid to reach out. Uh, I'm sure you'll be hearing from the Viscount soon with a formal walkthrough with his guard. Oh. Soren kind of leans back and Laura's like going like wide-eyed, like, oh no. That's... They're... The five families of Eberron are dangerous. There's some internal politics and infighting between them, but if one of those families bore their full might down on Kirkwall, I think we would crumble. They're very dangerous. They have a large number of men, and in the Imperium, magic is very important. And you'll find that when you're faced with an army of thousands and every one of them a spellcaster, things get dangerous very quickly. I think we need to tread carefully with that information. You'll need very concrete proof. Otherwise, I think his hands will be tied unless you can catch them red-handed, as it were. Literally catching them with the slaves, I think, would be the most important thing. It is abnormal, I think, for a family like this to be so directly involved as you claim they are. They might purchase slaves, and they'd have no problem, obviously, with us going against slave trafficking. But it is strange that you say that a member of their direct family would have been overseeing it directly. That is what puts me on guard, and what makes me worry. If your goal is simply to save your family, we can do that, no problem. But I tell you now, if your goal is to see justice done to the two people you say were causing it, we will need to. It will be hard.
you don't see him. You just wait near the door. Don't worry about it. You talking about the Viscount? Yeah, you're talking about, yeah, Keston. I did not.
suppose that's true. I did think he was genuine, at least, in wanting to help and wanting it not to happen again. I don't know what y'all think. Well, I hope, or at least I hope that's part of his goals in strengthening Kirkwall is to make sure that we're no longer at the mercy of some of the greater powers in the world. We hold a significant strength in trade, and well, the truth is we are somewhat of a balance, because you have to go through Kirkwall to get to either part of the world. To the Imperium can't really attack us because the theocracy would have to respond, and the same is true vice versa. But if we were to try to stand up to either of them alone, we would be crushed. So I can understand his goals, at least in what he's talking about, but these are troubling times, for certain. I would not recommend getting involved in the politics of it if you can avoid it, but I do have some concerns about his choices, bringing over spell swords from the Graves family, especially ones that are apparently catching slaves in our lands, and the Red Iron Mercenary Band is efficient, I suppose, but not the most savory of names to build an army around. Regardless, I hate to feel like I can't help you more. Well, with the Viscount's permission, you'll be able to walk through it in the day unmolested. Perhaps if you can find where that ship is hiding, you could plan out something a little bit more secret. An assault? I don't know. But we will be still happy to help you if there is anything we can do, and please don't hesitate to come to us. We're on your side in this for certain. Come on, Laura. Back to, kind of gives you like a thin smile. Back to performing the social graces of the noble class. And they leave. And as your party sits for a moment in the room, if you have anything else you need to discuss, now's the time. If not, you could head out. got like 5 minutes left. You can get a recast on you. Could also get it done by someone with better stealth. Alright. In the interest of time, you all begin to file out of this meeting room, headed back into the main hall, which is pretty empty now. You do see Ricky waiting for you by the door. Turns as you all come out. Gives you a nod. I was asked to wait here for you. Mr. Pafashi went on ahead, and Eliza is escorting your family back home. Thought it for the best, but we'd like to invite you to a quick family meeting tonight, if you're interested in joining. Don't know that it'll be all of us. It's a little short notice, but just a chance to sit down. You all ready to leave now? I think he wants to get started. We got a bit to talk about, and it's pretty late. It's about 10 o'clock, by the way. It takes about an hour to get back to Kirkwall by carriage, as you're a little bit outside of the city at this estate.
Jean in. Easy enough. He is upstairs at the bar. You see a well-dressed, dark-skinned man with long black hair. You caught a glimpse of him a little bit at the party, but now that you know his name and you've gotten a good up and down on him, you've clocked him well enough. You can certainly cast a message spell to him. Alright. So, Ricky leads you all out to the main area, or back out to the main area where you are able to recollect your weapons, as two carriages pull around for your group. Who all is getting in the first carriage? Okay. I just want to know who's in which carriage for conversation on the way back, basically. Yeah, you can't fit 6 people. It's like 4 people to a carriage, basically, comfortably. Okay, so Ricky, I'll say, is in the second carriage. So you're in the carriage with Silky, Rockgut. Is everyone else getting in the carriage with Ricky? Very fair. We'll stick Saros in the first carriage. Vinny, you got a preference, first or second? Okay, so you hop in the second carriage. That's fine. So you all are able to get in there easily enough. You are still in your party attire. I'll say Saros has armor in his bag. If y'all wanted to just put that back on, that's fine. You can distribute it. If not, if you just want to ride back into town in your party attire, you all have your weapons again, and you are fine. Any preference there? Code check went okay. All your weapons were returned to you, simply enough. Silky is given once again her Flamberge, and Warden Shatterspike. Oh, okay. You left the Flamberge back at home. Okay, that's fine. Maybe fortunately for the Graces, but hey. All right. So, what are y'all discussing, I guess, if anything, as you ride back into the city? I guess Morteza is filling in Ricky. Anything else going on? I will note, when you went back upstairs, Rockgut, with Vinny, you saw Keston. You did not see his cousin, the woman. That's it, for sure. Hyping them up. So as you all are on your carriages back to Kirkball, it does start to rain, and it sounds like it's becoming a pretty powerful storm. Rucka, if you kind of like glance out the window at the sound of some thunder, make a perception check at disadvantage because of dim light. You do, but that turns darkness into dim light. 9. You don't see too much. You're coming along a ridge line. It's looking like a pretty heavy storm is coming into Kirkwall from pushing inwards from the ocean. As you turn back in, close the blinds, you lean back for a comfortable ride.
when suddenly... Sure, you certainly could. Not while the carriage is moving, unfortunately. You will have an opportunity. You'll have an opportunity to experience the storm for certain. Yeah. Suddenly, and the first carriage. You were a great party guest, and the first carriage is flipped overhead, flung into a rock on the side. I need the 3 people in the first carriage to all make dexterity saving throws. Are you raging? And is it double check that double check if you have to see it coming, because you definitely don't see this coming. But if you have natural advantage, you're good. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'll give you that then. You feel it getting flipped, and you're like, oh fuck. And you like jump to protect yourself as the carriage slams into a rock, shattering. And you're able to remain unscathed. Sorrows takes 5 points of bludgeoning damage. Rockgut, how you doing? 15. Rockgut is okay with only 5 points of bludgeoning damage. You look up, it's dark. So I don't know how well you're going to see this monster. But there is this enormous ape-like thing. Red eyes, enormous tusks coming from out of its mouth. That just flipped this carriage and like threw it. Second carriage, your carriage screams to a halt as the horses like pull off to the side. I can't move these carriages, but you all move like over here. And looking out the window, Morteza, you can barely make out in the rain this very large shape. Vinny, you can't see fucking shit right now. And it also looks like there's like 2 dogs or something behind it. Hard to say. Roll initiative. Hashtag dogs. What's up? Yeah. That's correct. Or no, everyone except you has their weapons back. Only Warden has his armor. Technically, you have unarmored defense, so it's more like you're just back to 14 instead of 17 right now. But everyone else is potentially very vulnerable right now. You can certainly try. I'll just re-add you all. I'm just gonna re-add you all. Hang on. It leaves all of you in there from the last time, so I think it's fine, but then it's like, no, I don't understand. Can you all re-add your initiatives? You all hear this great cry and the sound of a carriage clattering and your horses pulling over to a stop, and you're able to, you know that something is going on out front, but it's hard for some of you to see it at the moment. Warden, it's your turn. Rocket, you are on deck. What are you doing? Okay. Can you see it?
I guess it's shared vision from everyone is what's happening on the map. I'm wondering if you specifically can even see it. Oh, you can't see it at all if I click on just your character. Is that your vision? Is this what you're seeing, Kathan? Like just a small black ring around you? Okay, so click on your character and hit Control L. Do you see that vision? Did you click on your token first? That's weird. So when you click on Control L, it's supposed to give you the vision that your character would see. No, I think you definitely are. It's probably because I gave you all control of multiple characters. Basically, you have vision around you without light and without dark vision of you can see like 5 feet in front of you and like barely make out some shapes between blasts of lightning like further away. Okay. Very good. You move to about here. Pulling out your sword, the horse next to you is making a bunch of noise. You can make out a large shape ahead of you. Make a perception check. You don't see the dogs, but you see the large shape. You would have. Is it Hunter's Mark? Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Sounds good. Rocket, it is your turn. You've heard Warden's cry, and you can make out a hulking shape standing, like slightly over the wreckage that you're in right now. Yeah, the other wall on the cart is like barely still standing between you and the thing. So you're going to need to take... You can make a dexterity check right now. Take 10 feet off that movement, as some of it is difficult terrain as you're scrambling through wreckage of the cart and getting out in the back to get away from the wreck. Okay, you're gonna have. So you have dark vision, right? Alright, let me see here. Dark vision. 5B. I'm pretty sure. Dark vision as an attack. So you're gonna have disadvantage, I believe, as you're in dim light. Go ahead and roll with disadvantage, and then I'll let you know. I'm just googling it real quick. Oh, my mistake. Yeah, that's fine. No, you're good. Do y'all? Alright, so I whispered their initiative rolls, so you didn't know what monsters you're necessarily up against. Do y'all care about that? Or just want me to roll in public, because it's more fun to see?
Yeah, but you don't see names by him. You got him. Dude, that's nuts. That's a lot of damage. Yeah, that hits. This bolt of lightning takes this large creature in the chest, illuminating this huge red form before you, standing like a towering 12 feet. As he screams at you with this bolt of lightning, taking it in the chest, he stumbles back a little bit. That hurt. That was a lot of damage. Fuck. I will say... is that how that spell works? Can you link it for me? It just goes right through, even though this guy's huge. Tight. Okay. So the dog also got struck, but saved, taking 18 points of damage. The lightning illuminated the beasts for you, Warden, and you now recognize that there are two demonic-looking dogs. One of which was struck by it. The one that was struck by it, you can't really see this, Raka, because you have something huge in front of you, but as it's lit up, these two vicious heads snarl as the lightning bolt strikes it, and it's like barely like singeing its shoulder as you see this two-headed beast. And the other one that's a little bit closer to you opens its jaws, flames licking between its teeth as it's now... Rocket, is that your turn? As it now menacingly charges forward, disappearing for a moment, but you catch this red glimpse, and it gets to about here, before the wreckage of the cart, and breathes out this great fiery breath. Dexterity saving throw. You don't have advantage on this one, Silky, because he's coming at you from the other side of the cart. You don't really see it coming. But it's a low DC. Give me a dexterity saving throw for Solros and Silky. You're good. Connor, will you roll for Solros? Okay, Solros has resistant to fire damage, I believe. Does not save either of them. As the carriage just goes up ablaze, illuminating the area, as if it's set on fire with rain coming down upon it. Saros takes 10 points of fire damage since he is resistant. Silky, you take 20. The cart is not really where it is. It's like over on its side, and he breathes out fire into it and on the two inside of it, and he lights the cart ablaze with his breath of fire, but it's him breathing fire. Yeah. Saros, turning about, sends this flame back, like trying to withstand the breath of fire that's overlapping him and sending his fire right back at the source. And you see this bolt of fire come like charging through the fiery breath of the dog, striking it in the mouth, and it just closes its maw and seems completely unbothered. And there is now a light source, but also a fire that a lot of y'all are in. And it's your turn, Silky. The carriage is ablaze. You are standing in it. I will draw a line. Fuck, I forgot about those.
Make a perception check. This is going to be your action, though. It'll be your action to find something and try to grab it, basically. And then get out of the fire. Okay. So near the door, you can see the glint of a small dagger. You also see what looks to be like a piece of wood that's jutting out that you could just like grab and rip off the carriage that is aflame at the end of it. So you would be like swinging around a large piece of wood with fire on the end of it, or you can grab a dagger. The wood would be an improvised weapon, but I would add fire damage to it. So it'd be improvised as 1d4, and I'll add 1d4 fire damage to it. So 2d4. Definitely better than the dagger, to be honest. I don't think you have proficiency with it, so it'd be 2d4 and a 1d20 plus your strength to hit. So like a 1d20 plus 3 to hit, and it would do 2d4 damage plus strength. You could also just punch it. That's fine. Yes. And now you gotta get out of that fire. Okay. No, but you do need to make a dexterity check just to get out of the burning collapsed carriage. So make a dexterity saving throw. You're gonna have advantage on this one. Is this Stellaris music? Nope. Divinity 2. You were playing some tense Dragon Age music earlier, and I loved it. Uh, 14. You're going to take 1d4 fire damage. You're able to move at normal speed, though, to get to wherever you want to go. But you do take 2 damage. Yeah. Okay. Morteza, you're up next, by the way. And then Benny. Ooh. Okay. So dexterity saving throws for both. They both beat it. 17 and 13. Sorry. All right. Morteza, it is your turn. Finny, you're on deck. Okay. That does not hit, unfortunately. As you are trying to hit it, illuminated by fire, you send out this green, sickening ray, fizzling as rain strikes it along the way, and the great creature turns and twists barely to avoid it, ducking as it goes right over its head. It's a little bit wary of magical bolts of energy shooting at it now after what Sam did to it a second ago. Vinny, it is your turn. this one and this one. You saw them both illuminated from the bolt of lightning. No. No, you just, for a minute, you saw them illuminated and it was gone. But now you know there's a big fire, so it's separate illumination source. Then he crawls up on top of the carriage and... and sends forward, striking out this bolt of pure white energy, illuminating as it goes. Roll to attack. That hits. Big time. Wow. Almost a crit. You do. You strike it directly in its face as it, this glowing light paints part of its body. It turns away and looks back up to you. It takes 14 points of damage. And it looks towards Rockgut, who it is not forgiven for that bolt of lightning. Oh, I'm sorry. It's actually the dog's turn first. The dog... How far can you move? 40 feet? Sure is. Have you? Oh my god, you have. This dog goes charging at you, Warden, and you have your attack if you want to take it. Okay, take your attack. You swing down, it nimbly ducks up out of the side, rips up at you, trying to bite twice. 18 doesn't hit, so neither hits. Fucking Warden. Meanwhile, the ape, with his roar, charges down the puny creature that assaulted it with lightning and swings once with its left fist, aiming to knock you in the head. I'm just going to go back to public rolls. Fuck it. He hits. You take 21 points. What do you 10 plus 4? So yeah, you take 21 points of damage on the first hit. As it, oh, good call. As a reaction, Steve pops in front of you. He takes hits. He only has 20 health, right? You summon Steve, who takes this blow right across the jaw and instantly disappears. This great beast is so confused, and it takes another attack at you with its fist. Only 6 points of damage, though. And now, as it slaps you with one, it reaches down and tries to bite you. Latching on 3 attacks, latching onto your arm and shaking about and like throwing you over to like here, I'll say. You take 17 points of damage total. Steve just saved your fucking life. That was so funny. I forgot about Steve. Oh my god. And it is Saros' turn. Also, Silky, I forgot about your Boots of Fire. Reduce that 1d4 that you got a 2 damage on to 1, so just add 1 health. Because you're running out of fire and you did well in your dexterity saving throw, I'll give you resistance there. Saros is also going to need to get out of the fire, but he has resistance in general. And what spell or anything is he doing? I don't. For now, I'm gonna say no, but I'll double check if when you're readying an attack you can just do 2. I'm not sure. I think so. If I can figure out that it can while Saros is still taking his turn, I'll give you your second one. Okay, go ahead, Connor. Yeah. Yeah. He's just gonna have to make a dexterity saving throw to determine if he takes damage. He has resistance to fire, so it's not a big deal. If he does poorly, he's gonna like stumble, take damage twice, and lose some movement getting out because it's also in wreckage of carriage. So you can't, by the way, Warden. Extra attack specifies you can attack twice instead of once when you take the attack action on your turn. Okay, what's up, Vinny? Okay. What save is that? It fails. It begins, begins with this weird, high pitched, like a weird, I don't really know how to do a fucking, hyena chuckle. But that's what's going on here. And it falls over prone on its side as it overcomes it. I'll just throw that on it so I remember it's prone. Please remind me if you're attacking it that it is prone, anyone. Is that his turn? Okay, make a dexterity saving throw. Warden, you're up after this, and then Raka, you're on deck. He's good. He eludes the flames. I don't have to tell you that. Oh. Now it's affected. Smart enough, dog. Well, are these animals? Okay. You do provoke an attack of opportunity. Yeah, you're not worried about that, are you? Why would you be? Okay. Hit. Doesn't hit. Hits. Hits. So first, they both hit, yeah. So roll damage twice. Okay. So you deal 29 points of damage and roll smite. Ooh, that sucks. 36 points of damage in total, though. Still very impressive. Jesus Christ. How do you want to do this? Alright, so you come around with your first strike. You hamstring this creature, which brings it down to one knee, and it falls, one hand falling on the ground before Rockgut, who's, cowering as the remnants of Steve are still disappearing after the blows that struck him, trying to catch his breath. Teeth marks still in him, and the creature like whirls around, roaring in your face, "Rah!" And this electric crackling divine energy comes across your sword as you fucking behead this thing as it turns about, and it boom falls forward, landing heavily before you. Baller move, dude. Yeah, I'm sitting here like, wow, he rolled a 1 on one of his smites. Like, it was pretty low damage considering these nuts damage rolls. And then you just hit 6 more damage casually. What the fuck, Ward? And Rockgut. I mean, 35 points of damage is also nuts. Speaking of which, it is your turn, Rockgut. There are still 2 dogs standing. Warden is making a heroic pose before this creature that nearly ripped your head off with its teeth. And seems to be lost in his own mind. Yeah, one is laughing on the cart. Taking the superhero pose. Okay, so for you to give him an item would normally be your action, but I'll say it's just like a bonus action. You're just throwing something at him. Warden, make a dexterity saving throw. He aimed it a little too low for you, unfortunately, and it almost entangled your feet and knocked you over. But you're able to like grab it, and like hold it. Like, what? Now he tries to chain you. Rocket, you're running right by him. What are you doing? Okay. Go for it. Does anything happen like right away, or is it just on its turn when it tries to move? All right, cool. That is your turn then. Silky and Morteza, y'all are up in a second. Connor, what does Tasha City's laughter save at the end of the turn or when? Okay. So what? No. So it makes a save at the end of its turn, so it can't do anything no matter what. But it's wisdom save again, right? Still laughing. Something's real funny to that dog. And Silky, it is your turn. That dog is on the ground laughing at something. What are you doing? The dog in front of you. So you need to rage again because you didn't attack anything and no one attacked you. So you're not actually raging anymore, I don't think. Or is it the end of your turn? I'm pretty sure it doesn't. But I'll allow it. The pixie can count for this time, but I'm pretty sure the pixie does not count as an attack. It is you have to attack something or be attacked. But I will double check that. Where'd you load the pixie token to? Okay, cool. Cool. No, it's all good. You're good. I'm adding the pixie right now. What are you doing with your turn? Yeah, because of the pixie, you get to keep it. Okay, you have advantage on 2 attacks against the wolf. And you're raging, so make sure you add 2 to your damage. They both hit. Nice. You start fucking beating up this dog. How dare it breathe fire on you? Doesn't it know the night you've had? Okay. The pixie was already kind of like on this other side, and I believe I've given you control of the token, so you should be able to move it to wherever you want it to go. Okay. You should have control of it. Here we go. Try now. Okay, yeah. What were you saying, Sam? It makes its wisdom saving throws now? I thought it has advantage at the end of its turn. Oh, okay. Well, 2 right this second, but okay, so it's saved, it's no longer laughing, but it is still prone, it just can stand up on its turn, I believe. After the second punch to the face, the dog is no longer finding it as humorous, and it's stopped laughing as it growls up at you from the ground. And it has disadvantage on a dexterity saving throw since it's still prone for your pixie, I believe, and it fails. So it takes 1d6 points of damage. It's dexterity, right? 1 more point of damage as your pixie that looks like it has a smoking problem explodes like right next to it. You pulled that out of what is that? What is that show? Disenchanted? Yeah. The Futurama art kills me. Morteza, it is your turn. There's 1 dog sat in spikes near you. 1 prone. The cart's not there, so you have vision on the prone one still. Constitution, you said? Okay, so the one by Silky suddenly is like whirling its head around, like it's lost track of you as it is blind. And deaf or just blind? Okay. You could do it to one of your friends if you were against someone that did a lot of thunder damage. Yeah, that'd be cool. Many things are looking up. You can't help but think to yourself that this is all thanks to the guiding bolt to the face that you did on that monster. You even saw Rocket try to give Warden his gift. Well, there are spikes at its feet, at least. Yeah, so it's in spike terrain, but I mean it can still make its way out of it. All right, guiding bullet up the butt. That hits. You're just sitting up there getting a heroic pose. Pew! Pew! As you fire with your other hand this time. There's 2 heads on this dog. Which would you like to hit? 24 points of damage is nuts, by the way. How do you want to do this, actually, Vinny? Okay. So you finger guns, sending this gulp of biting energy at one of the heads, which snarls at you, and then actually like the bolt like gets it right in the mouth, and it goes down its throat, and its eyes like explode out with light as the other dog is like vomiting magical radiance out of its other mouth and collapses forward, impaling its head on the spikes below, and you're like, I didn't mean for that to happen. Its eye sockets look like little smokes coming out of it. $24 points of damage. Nuts. All right. Saurus' turn. You're still going, Vinny. Connor. You got one. Yep, prone and blind. Just go beat up on the dog that's prone and blind. Y'all are hard to get an edge on at this tier of play. I'm struggling to give a really, truly challenging encounter. I did almost kill Rockgut, though. All right. It saves, but it still takes half damage. So 8 points of psychic damage is just like screams. It screams and writhes on the ground. Beating up on it. Oh. Admittedly, a very, very evil-looking dog that also breathes fire at him. So, like, this is what this dog looks like. Like, it's not the friendliest thing. Warden, it is your turn. You can. That card is not there. It is over in the yellow box on fire. Alright, you have advantage as it is prone. And blind. That hits. Oh, yeah. You killed it. There's no way you don't kill it here. How would you like to describe the kind of sashimi you turn this dog into? Okay. So with the first blow, he lashes out, and the dog is in pain, but still barely hanging line. And Warden's just like, ugh. And puts his boot on the head of it and just drives his sword down right into its spine and heart, and it ain't moving anymore. And that is the end of that combat counter, which you handled with brutal efficiency, as always. Well played, y'all. Ricky, meanwhile, is like peering out of the second carriage, going like, y'all all good down there? Or, you, by the way, look kind of beat up still. You've still got some teeth marks in the side. You right there, friend? Oh, no. That is a good point I didn't think about. A lot of your wonderful clothes have taken some damage. Silky, yours are burnt in a few places, as are Saurus's. Unfortunately, your clothes are not immune. Morteza, you look fine. Warden, your cape is dirty and from dragging in the mud as you ran about, but not really like damaged. Vinny is okay, sort of standing in his white and electric blue V up top, like very like bright with the light reflecting off the blue. Rockgut's purple silk wardrobe though is in tatters. Like half of the coat is ripped away, exposing his side. You are I do not fucking know, my friend. And as you talk, you see some of these creatures all these creatures, actually, all three of them, beginning to like turn to dust, like chipping and fading away as the bodies start to disappear. Warden, Morteza, perception checks. And Silky, actually. So Silky, as you catch your breath, demon dog blood on your fists, you spy with like this glint of blue near the ground in the carriage, and you bend down to look closer at it, and you pick it up, and it's like fragments of it looks kind of similar to what Morteza got when y'all, or when Morteza was holding and Warden retrieved when y'all encountered the Chain Devil, but broken. It's definitely the same make, Morteza, as you get a glance at it. It looks like it is this like shattered Tevium orb with runes carved into its surface. The energy of it seems to have dissipated, and it is shattered here. The energy seems to have been sapped out of this particular sample. It's more so just like a piece of like glass or a rock, as it is. Oh, crap. Well, hang on, Kathan, stay 2 seconds. I'm just going to tell you briefly what you'll be doing tonight, and I'll tell you more after. You're going to, after this bit gets wrapped up, I was going to give you the opportunity to, since it was still storming, go to the docks and sort of face the lightning, if you wanted to. Very cool. That's totally fine. But have a good one. Enjoy your work. See you, buddy. Thanks for joining. All right, everyone else. You catch your breath after the battle. Whew. It's rough out there, huh? He'll lay on hands you as an uncomfortable thank you for the chain, and we'll let you two RP the gift later. Fair enough. Half of the corpse is turned to ash, and it's like this muddy puddle in the rain now. Reminds me of what was happening with that work we did against Voss not too long ago. We found a note then, if y'all recall. Said, yeah, they were going to be meeting with someone named Kay Grace. So, yeah, I think you're fucking spot on, Rockgut.
No, no, we wanted to meet y'all anyways. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I've got my, you know, pulls on his jacket a little bit. Always have my coat on anyways, so. Don't worry about it. This is just going to be a quick one with my father, I think. Anyways, I'm sure he'll want to get you home and get you rested up before maybe a longer sit down, and we can fix your coat. Yeah, I got a great tailor. I liked your look too, friend. See if we can't pile everyone in here. It's going to be a bit of an uncomfortable ride, just one carriage back to Kirkwall, but I don't want anyone to walk. Well, I don't want to pick that up. Do you want to pick that up? And he like gestures at the flaming carriage by the road. Yeah, sure, probably. On a stormy night like this, I imagine significant amounts of the Viscount's guards are at his own estate. We're only about 30 minutes outside of Kirkwall. I'm sure a patrol will come by and spot the carriage eventually. Maybe with the rain they just weren't walking around. We don't put our fucking emblem on every carriage. Just a rented carriage. Oh yeah, that won't happen. He would not dare. Ricky kind of smiles at you. Unless you're trying to make a statement, I guess, yeah. Yeah, well, the creatures are gone. That's barely a carriage anymore. Horses have run off. Let's get out of here. Pile in, folks. And Warden will, I'm assuming, summon Thunder, so he doesn't have to get in the carriage with y'all. Not really bothered by the rain. If anyone wants to sit outside in the rain and ride with the and drive, or if they want to. Okay, that's fine. So most of you all clamber in, and it's an uncomfortable and wet ride back to Kirkwall, but you are able to make it back. He steers you pretty quickly to of course, the brothel. Let me make sure I have the meeting room prepared. Oh boy. This thing is taking its sweet time loading for me, but whatever. Yeah, it's also just a huge, detailed ass map. Tends to make it more difficult. Here we go. Alright. So I'm putting y'all down in the bottom right. Not with the drug dealer. That's where we were last time. I'm putting y'all down in the bottom right. That was from last time. Y'all are all in the bottom right, where you will see Eliza and Mr. Profashi. Can you see what part of the map I've thrown y'all in? Alright, great. No. It was about 20 minutes. No, it was 30 minutes to get there, but it was not comfortable, and you were wild shaped as a wet spider. So no, I'm not giving you a short rest. This meeting will be a short rest if you decide to drag it out and like doze off during it, but Mr. Profashi is planning to keep it pretty quick. As you come in, some of you in tattered clothing and looking damaged. You all look like shit. That is unfortunate. My condolences.
Sorry, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Fritz! What's wrong, buddy?
Oh no, someone's.
Hey, what you barking at?
Hi, Monty.
So I was really sad, guys. I wanted to ask Clark more about a safari. Like, one, how long in advance has this been planned? That's number one.
Shit, how did I not ask him that question?
I don't know how involved he is in that stuff. Maybe it was just Rachel planned it. He was just like,
He showed me a cheetah eating a gazelle.
But again, like,
Sorry about that.
be like,
I'm back.
you should know.
Ooh. What happened? Sorry. Did I forget something? Okay. I'm still recording, by the way, so save your shit talk for post game. Anyways, Mr. Pravashi. I'm sorry to hear that you were attacked. You up for do tell. That does not come as a surprise in the slightest. Balder. At least that was what he invited you to. Did not say that was where they were harboring them. Yeah, with good reason. Imperium is not a bear you want to poke. But he kind of like rises, stands at a tall like 7'5". Sometimes you don't have a choice. Now, it looks to me like our good Viscount is interested in a power grab. I have concerns about his motivations and his methods. Working with the Graces is nasty business. My family will help you. No longer just because you've helped us or because we like you, but because interfering with work of the Imperium happens to be a personal pleasure of my own. We're gonna get your family back. And then after, I plan to commit some treason, if y'all would be interested in joining. And he sits back down. But, it's been a long day. You all look tired. And I don't need a decision tonight. We can talk about it more in the morning if you like. Oh, I'll help you get the family back.
We can have a planning meeting on that tomorrow right away. I mean in regards to my other proposal. Yeah, that's the one. It has suddenly jumped to first priority. I plan to have the Viscount replaced, ideally, by Malcolm Amell. Marlowe, in my opinion, is no longer the best man to lead Kirkwall. And if you decide you would be interested in helping, I would be able to speak more with you on my plan. I don't mean to kill him if we don't have to. Ideally, this would be done. He kind of smirks. Technically, legally. Regardless, as I said, it's been a long night. You all should go get some sleep. There's rooms here if you'd like to use them. If you stay here, we can have breakfast and talk first thing. If you like, I can help with that as well. But I don't mean to overstep. I know family business can be personal. Understood. I own other locations than just this brothel, you know. Regardless, Eliza, Ricky, if you would, if you'd have them, I'm sure they'd be happy to walk with you. Eliza dropped your family off not too long ago.
Alright, so they both will keep you company. Eliza, like, kind of touching your arm sort of tenderly, while Ricky mostly keeps it silent while walking. And you're able to make it back to your house uneventfully. And all of you are going to go your separate ways for a little bit. You start to retire, or feeling a little restless, venture out. Warden goes to the docks, where he embraces the storm. Salros, retiring to one of the rooms offered by Mr. Rafashi, begins to play a lively tune with the window open, not too far off from the entrance to the tavern. It's this sort of baleful but hopeful note that turns many ahead as they walk out of the tavern. His thoughts are his own. Rockgut, you find yourself drawn to one of the parks in the city that you would pass through. Bear with me here for a second. You find a nice patch of nature where you can reach down and feel the dirt between your fingers. Get a shady spot away from the rain and sit there a moment. You're able to see these beetles crawling about in a small line. You think you can make out
somewhat larger, like a dead worm being dragged by something. You think back all the way even to the Sunless Citadel and the natures of life and death. What your path forward looks like as a druid and what kind of man you want to be. You find yourself thinking of your family, your struggles to save them, some of the powerlessness you felt, and as you grind up the dirt in your hand, you resolve that you will not let your friends feel like this. And congratulations on reaching level 6, Rock God. Morteza, yeah, just you. Morteza, you taking a moment more to yourself in your room, flipping through some of your books, find sort of a restless feeling overcoming you. The Graces are powerful magicians. To a man. Magic is in their blood, and it's almost a shame if someone doesn't know any magic. You whirl up a small spell in your palm, thinking about the potency that lies in your own blood, and that lies in your studies. As you turn, spending a great deal of time thinking to yourself of what you could do to harness something more, you think of the items that you've yet to pursue. You think of the Red Mage even, who might be able to provide some sort of a guide in arcane arts further than what you've already explored. And so you find your hands drawn to your spellbook as you begin to try to inscribe some very intricate runes and patterns that you had seen one of your older masters do once before, focusing hard on trying to remake the power and remember what you can become when you reach level 6. Congratulations. I can finally pass Fireball, he says to himself through the wall. Vinny, is there anywhere in particular you would like to go, Vinny? Otherwise I was going to have you be in your room as well. Actually, never mind. I'm sorry. I was going to have you walk out a little bit. I remember now. So you, Vinny, fingering the goblin trinket that you purchased about a week ago, carrying it in your pocket, find that you can't rest just yet, and you take a little bit of a walk, throwing on a cloak that hangs on the wall and pulling the hood up so the rain doesn't get too on you. You stroll through the tavern, many a drunk, running about. You hear a sound like thump, as something falls off one of the crates next to you. You turn about, and you see this glimpse of the small, silvery goblinoid face twisted into a grinning laugh. It darts off around the corner. Do you chase it? You saw a silvery goblin face, like, glowing around a corner after it had, like, pushed a box upwards. So you chase about it. You pursue it for a little while as it seems to run away. You hear this, like, gleeful, high-pitched laughter. It looks like it's skipping at some points, laughing. And finally you come about around a corner, and it's sat there waiting for you. Ah! And it's this, like, silvery figure sat before you. It looks like your hand could pass right through it. It's got this, like, jester's hat on, and it's a huge grin on its face, and you bend down to its height, and, like, you, like, reach out your hand, and it reaches out and it touches you, and right when your fingers touch, it disappears. And you stand back up. You can feel this warmth and gleeful energy sort of spreading through you.
You think back to your time with the goblins and what the gooch and this strange power has brought into your life. And you reach level 6. Congratulations. Silky. It's been a long night for you. You've been worried about your family and without your great sword, and it's been rough. As you get home, Mank and Maggie are both very happy to see you. They talk about how nice Liza was to help them home, and of course give you a hug. And you share with them your encounters with the night and your growing concerns over their safety. But as you speak, sort of choking the emotion back from slipping too much into your voice, you let them know that you will see them safe, and that nothing will happen to them as long as you're here. And Mank and Maggie both give a mournful smile. Mank's like, "Would you wait here a moment?" And he comes back after a second with your great axe, repaired and looking shiny, and hands it to you. And he says, "So, I got it fixed for you, and well, I'm always worried about you, and I care about you, and I know we fight, but I do love you, Ma, and I just wanted to add a little something special to make sure that you were safe out there. You know, it was with what I could, and I could try to do more, but it'd be hard, and it would take me a long time. But give it a swing, give it a swing." And he hands it over to you. You could just swing it in the air, avoiding furniture, or you could swing it at something. You can just swing it, though. Okay. So you bring it around in this beautiful arc, and this trail of fire comes out, twisting about it as you twirl the axe, following it and like slightly lightening the blade with the small red hot sheen that glows and even illuminating some of the area about you, trailing fire every time you swing it. It's beautiful. You of course thank your son, and put it down, and after spending a little more time with your family, you do eventually go to rest. You can hear Headman snoring a room or two over. It's a very loud snore. Before you go to bed, kind of check in on sleeping Mank Jr. Looks very peaceful. And you sit looking at this new axe for a moment, and you tightening about it, you think of the anger and the primal magics that swirl within you, what you have at your fingertips, and what you know you will unleash on anyone that threatens your family in the way that the Graces have. Status be damned. And congratulations on level 6 and a new magical weapon, which I will add to your inventory. It has the potential to be upgraded if you choose to invest with Mank further, but you would need to spend your own money to do so. But right now, anytime you hit something, you will also roll 1d4 fire damage and add that on top of it. I will put it in your inventory, so no worries. That is your decision to make. Either will be happy to help, and you can deal with that next session, as we are going to wrap it up here. But no, yeah, that's just that. Silky can just make her decision there. How could you have 92 health? Roll a 1d12. So I think it's +2 for you. Maybe it's closer. Do you not have a plus at all, Rocket? Okay. You get +2 for 10? Nuts. Yeah. Why didn't you just roll like Sam? D Beyond knows it's like roll the you're gonna roll it too. So yeah, roll a 1d12 +2, Betsy, and you're gonna add it to 55. Well, just roll that or whatever. Nice. So you get 11. Okay, so your new health's gonna be 66. Pretty good. And Vinny, if you want to roll your health, your health modifier, I believe, is a 1d8 as a cleric. So you'll roll a 1d8 and add your add your constitution. So +1. That's very unfortunate. So 46 is your new max health. Sorry, bud. Ooh, that sucks. That's unfortunate. And yeah, that's going to wrap up the session. At the top of next round, I'll do little speeches for Salrus and Warden if y'all want to hear them. And we'll let them roll health too. How'd y'all like those, though? Yeah? Yeah. 4. Level 4 is the big deal. Will you? As a wizard? Oh, okay. Cool. Well. So, Sam, I'm gonna tell you one spell right now that I'm gonna nerf for you. Summon woodland creatures, I think it is. It's like the next level. It's like the next level of exactly what you did for the hag. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now. I just have one small caveat about that. Maybe it's summon woodland beings. I'm pretty sure it's level 4. Maybe you don't have it yet, but either way, that spell, you can summon 8 pixies, and every pixie has polymorph. And so no pixies is the answer. I'm not letting you have a 4th level spell that gives you 8 polymorphs. That's too much. That's too much. You can summon any other being, or you can summon pixies, and we can negotiate on a spell they have instead of polymorph, but you don't get 8 polymorphs. That's my only rule. So technically, you don't have to have seen any of these creatures to summon them. You're just summoning Fey. Yeah, you do. And you're not even really summoning the creature. You're summoning Fey spirits that just become a creature. So if you have a specific in mind, you can just be like, I summon these creatures that take these strange shape. Or you could I could roll on it, or it can be like depending on what environment it's in. There's a lot of flexibility, and if you want it to be like a little bit more random or not like totally up to you, I'm fine to be like, oh, this shit gets summoned. But it takes me 5 seconds to make a token, so I'm not really concerned about that part. The one other request I have in general for those summoning spells is obviously in cases where like 8 is super helpful, like last time, totally fine. I would prefer if you kept it to like 4 and below, just so I don't have to deal with 8 creatures moving forward, because combat's just gonna get super fucky. But it's okay if you really want to. That's not like the no pixies rule. That's just like this would make it a little easier for me if you didn't do it every time. Yeah. Add one more and boom. Man, I really thought y'all were gonna attack the Graces at that party, by the way. I was totally ready for it. That's fair. That's very fair. Yeah. But you add strength to your improvised weapon, so your punch is like 1 plus your strength, and an improvised weapon is a 1d4 plus your strength, so it's almost always better. You just won't have proficiency with the hit is the only difference. Yeah. Well, at the time, I didn't know I had so many plans to just put you into parties and take your weapons away. So that's my bad. I don't know. But anyways, this was a fun session. You did. You beat the fuck out of that dog while it was on the ground. That's true. Soki's had it a little bit rough the last few fights. She turned giant and then turned into a pincushion. She wasn't able to get to the hag, which, just in general, I've been struggling to do combat with the hoops since y'all hit level 5. So now I'm just gonna kind of lean back and not try to balance anymore. I'm just gonna hit you with some hard stuff and let y'all figure it out. Dude, you did 35. You did a fuck ton of damage with that lightning bolt, Sam. Nuts. What's the max that 86 can do? 48? I mean, you did 35. Very good, still. Imagine, oh, you can't, but you can't crit on those. Okay, yeah, never mind. I was like, imagine critting. Alright, Astros are coming on soon. Pray to God we win game 5. Oh, that's probably why my dogs were fucking barking. I didn't put any fucking candy out. I have no candy. I'm not putting anything out. Bye. Go Stros.